Welcome back, Dr. Zoda here. Now, I want to make this quick video on how to find your winning course idea. Time and time again, a lot of the people that I speak with, they think that they need the best idea before they even get started. And that's actually not the case. In fact, a lot of the clients that I work with, we actually start off without any business idea, without any course idea, without any business experience. And we actually start off from complete scratch, blank page, and we actually start scaling it to six figures and beyond. And when people say that they need to find a course idea before they even get started, that's kind of like putting the barrel before the wheel. It's actually putting the steps in the wrong order. What you should do instead is actually get started first, and then the right idea will actually come to you. Now, taking a step back, that's not really helpful advice, right? Because at the end of the day, we do need certainty. We want to be certain, or at least have a good idea of what idea we should aim for before we actually get started. So in this video, I want to provide that piece of advice. First of all, I want to say that as doctors, we sometimes forget that our expertise is actually highly valuable. Look, we went through years of schooling, we put in the hours, we put in the reps, all these textbooks, all these student loans, and we graduated and became a doctor, right? But even then, during medical school, we might sometimes compare ourselves to our colleagues, sometimes compare ourselves to classmates, and we might not feel like we're good enough. We might not feel like, oh, these whiz kids are working harder than me. These people are smarter than me. These people are performing better than me, getting better grades than me. And sometimes we just don't feel like enough. And it's quite common, especially in the medical field, to deal with feelings of imposter syndrome. And that's completely normal. It's part of the journey, especially as you're doing something outside of your comfort zone. It's normal to feel a little bit sense of discomfort when you're stepping outside of your comfort zone and advancing your life and your career. That being said, whenever we take a break from the hospital or the clinic and we actually go into the outside world, when we start meeting some of our high school friends at the bar, when we sometimes go to a friend's wedding and we meet a lot of unfamiliar faces, we are once again surprised by the fact that people actually look up to us for medical advice. People actually value our expertise. They start asking us about their itches, about their knee pain, that sort of stuff. And it's really quite surprising to me, especially when speaking with my colleagues, that how much our expertise is actually valued. And we don't really get a sense of that, especially when we're in the day-to-day hustle of working at the hospital. So I just want to get that out of the way first. As doctors, we sometimes forget that our expertise, first of all, we are already experts. We are already experts in the medical field. We are already experts in the healthcare industry. And second of all, we sometimes forget that this is actually very valuable, especially in the online world, which is what I'm going to talk about. Now, another thing I want to talk about is that you don't even need to be the world's best in order to create in order to create a meaningful course. So if you think back to the world's best, right, in the most academic fields, doing the most cutting edge research, sometimes the knowledge that they have is just so convoluted, so complicated, and too academic to be accessible to the everyday person, right? So if you're someone that wants to improve their sleep, and you're speaking with someone that's the world's leading expert and doing all these sleep studies with all this technical jargon and all this medical jargon, that is just not accessible. All you want to do is just have better sleep, 8 hours a day, and get well rested the next day, right? When you are some sleep professor, like doing cutting edge research, that research is a bit too academic and too inaccessible to the vast majority of the population in order to really benefit. Am I saying that the research is absolutely useless? Of course not. Of course not. But we need to find a way to package that expertise, simplify it, and make it more accessible to the general masses. That's how we have the most impact to as many people as possible. So you don't need to be the world's best. And in fact, if you're too far ahead of most people, sometimes it's very hard for them to be good teachers. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that when you are a medical student and you are just learning something very simple, like how to suture something, right? We're not going to go to our boss. We're not going to the chief of service. We're not going to go to one of the most senior and oldest doctors, right? We're going to go to someone that's only 1 or 2 steps ahead of us. We're going to go to someone a bit senior, but just 1 or 2 steps ahead of us. Maybe we might even find our colleagues just to brush up on our suturing skills. That's the point I'm trying to make. You don't need to be an expert in order to teach someone something. In fact, the best experts are rarely good teachers. The best teachers are actually those that are only 1 to 2 steps ahead of us, because then they actually remember what it was like to be a beginner, because then they actually remember what is actually valuable in order to teach you. And so you don't need to be the world's best in your specific field in order to teach something of value. All you really need to do is be a few steps ahead of someone else. And that's what's going to make you a great teacher. Next, I want to talk about why you don't even need to sell your own expertise. Now, a great example of this is Masterclass. So this is the webpage of Masterclass, and what they essentially do is that they package the expertise of all these different experts, right? So we have some Neil deGrasse Tyson. We have this guy, which is the expert on negotiation. We have this guy from a TV show, and all of these, right? They even have a show on astronauts and physics, right? So they're not even packaging their own expertise. They're actually packaging other people's expertise and selling it online, right? We even have Bob Iger, the ex-CEO of Disney. So this is just an example. Gordon Ramsay, familiar face, Martin Scorsese, and so on and so forth. So the bottom line is this: you don't even need to sell your own expertise. That's very liberating to hear for most of us. Now, that being said, I do actually want to give you some useful advice that you can take away and hopefully brainstorm and have a general idea of how you can package your expertise and sell it online. This could be the seedling of a winning business idea, and you're welcome to jump on a free one-on-one call with us to make sure that this is the case so you can move forward with certainty that this could actually scale into a 6 to 7 figure business. So the first thing I want to do is ask myself, what am I an expert in? What is something that other people have paid me for? What is something that other people have asked for their advice on? What is something that I've helped others accomplish, right? So obviously, as medical doctors, that would be medicine. That could also be, if you're a yoga, if you also do yoga on the side, then this could also be yoga. Or if you've helped other people on starting an online business, then this could also be you. This could also be what you're an expert in. It's simply, what is something that you've helped others accomplish? Second of all, what is something that you've actually gotten results in? Gotten results not only in yourself, but also in others. So if you're doing a weight loss program, you could document your journey before and after about how you've lost 10, 20, 30 pounds. That is pretty impressive. And that gives you authority to teach this. And on the other hand, you could also see your client results. So the results that your patients have gotten, the results that your clients have gotten, and you could include this as well. And third of all, what are you actually passionate about? And finally, you want to niche down. Only then do you want to niche down and figure out exactly what is the problem that you're trying to solve within the market. So I'm going to give you an example, and let me just pull up my drawing board. So when it comes to an expert, I am an expert in quite a few things. So let's say, oh, I don't like this. All right, so let's say medicine. Let's say I'm an expert in business. Great. And let's say that I consider myself an expert in strategy. I'm an expert in philosophy, right? So we have a few. And you might also be an expert in music, right? Great. And this gives us a pretty good foundation so far. Now let's cross these out one by one. What is something that I've actually gotten results in? So probably not music. I'm not good enough to actually teach people music. Philosophy? Probably not. I mean, it's philosophy. Strategy? Yeah, I mean, especially business strategy, I've definitely gotten results. Medicine? Yeah, I mean, patients have come to me when they're sick and they left my clinic feeling better. So I've definitely helped them achieve these results. What am I actually passionate about? Am I passionate about medicine? Yeah. Am I passionate about business strategy? Definitely. And on top of that, I'm actually quite passionate about marketing as well, which is something that I should have put here as well. And that is something that I've actually gotten results in, and that is something that I consider myself an expert in, and people have been telling me, right? If you're good at something, you tell everyone. If you're great at something, people tell you. That's how you know you're an expert, when you've helped other people get the results that they want, and they actually come to you and ask for your help in those areas. That's how you know you're an expert. And now that you've gotten like a clear concept, right? So, okay, I want to do something that's related to medicine, and I want to do something that's related to business strategy and marketing. Great. Now you want to niche down further. So what about business strategy or what about marketing am I interested in? Well, I want to market, do I want to market physical products or digital products? I've done both, and I prefer digital products a lot more. So physical products are simply things like this, things like this. These are all physical products, right? You have to ship them from the factory and then send them to your customers. Digital products, on the other hand, could be things like ebooks, online courses, online programs, masterminds, that sort of stuff. So I much prefer digital products because the one thing that I hate about dealing with physical products, especially during COVID, was dealing with all the shipping times and shipping fees. That is just a major headache. So I much prefer digital products. Great. And so how can I actually tie these three together? Now let's brainstorm. How can I tie medicine with business strategy and my assets in marketing, especially with digital products? How can I tie these three together, right? So that's a very ugly triangle, but basically that's essentially how I came about this current program that I'm designing, right? Initially, I was helping other people in e-commerce niches and digital marketing niches. I've helped many clients, hundreds of clients in those spaces, launch their wildly successful online courses, 6-7 figures. But after a while, I decided, you know what? What I should do is actually niche down, because if I only focus on e-commerce and digital marketing, that is a huge pie. That is a huge pie with a lot of competitors, and it's quite saturated. But if I was able to leverage my own medical expertise, and at the same time, during that time, a lot of my colleagues saw how fast I was growing and started to ask me how to help them do the same. So again, that's when a lot of people start asking you for your advice on something, how to help them accomplish something. That's when you know you might have a winning course idea. So that's what I did. Instead of serving the entire market, I decided to niche down and only focus on doctors. Maybe potentially I might even focus on nursing, pharmacists, mental health workers, maybe. But right now I'm just focusing on doctors. And that's essentially how I built up my program, which is to help busy doctors start and grow wildly profitable online courses. Now, I sincerely hope this was helpful, and if you're interested in growing your online course business to 6 figures and beyond of passive income, make sure that you take the opportunity to book a free one-on-one strategy call with us. This is a call where we sit down with you, evaluate your situation, and help you devise a strategy to move and advance your life and your medical career forward. Do keep in mind that our program isn't for everyone, and we're very selective with the clients that we actually take on. But if you do think you're a good fit, then complete the survey down below and we can schedule a call. If you're a good fit, we're gonna get you in. If you're not a good fit, then okay, no worries. We can still help you with your situation. So thank you for watching this video, and we welcome you to our community here, where we're with you every step of the way to financial freedom.